days are getting shorter here at Belmont Park. With that being said, from sun up to sundown, Belmont Park was packed. I mean, it's really crunch time regarding this fall meet and Breeders' Cup works. As Maggie Wolfendale and Jason Blewett join all of you on Belmont Insider. You've made it in time. We're glad you're here. But I'll tell you, Maggie, I guess the first sets go out at 5:30 a.m. There were some pretty big names on the work tab today.
That there was. Several Breeders' Cup prep works going on here at Belmont. And furthermore, they're going to ship out and get on planes this Monday, Tuesday. And we'll see them out in California.
Busy, busy, just like the movers from here at Belmont over to Queens, 8 miles or so west to the Big A. We get underway at Aqueduct with their fall meet on Wednesday. But let's get down to the big horse, the Gold Cup, the Belmont Stakes winner, Tonalist. 5 furlongs on the main this morning. Listed as good during training hours for Christophe Camont and exercise rider Lee Vickers.
Yeah, and the official clockers got him in 101 and 4/5. And Camont alluded to the fact that he thought he won a little bit quicker than that. But I just like the fact that Tonalist looked like he was moving so well. I mean, just easily. He's a big horse. He covers a lot of ground with his stride. And he's a horse that runs long. He obviously won our Belmont. People want to see these flashy works. Well, first of all, that's the West Coast style. That's not the East Coast style. And he's not going to go out there and work in, 47. So I thought this was a great work.
And the man who calls the shots, Christophe Camont, we'll call him a master. I mean, he is, and forget about any sort of pigeonhole as a turf-only trainer. I mean, that has been shed. He's done an excellent job managing this son of Tapit throughout the year. And you caught up with Christophe earlier today, and he talked about how well Tonalist breezed.
Some big workouts on the work tab here at Belmont. None other than our Jockey Club Gold Cup winner, Tonalist. And I'm here with the man of the hour, Christophe Camont. Christophe, his work was published 101 and 4 today. It looked like he was moving fantastically around the oval, though.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy. I got him a little bit quicker than that, but it was a nice work. He worked actually 3/4 of a mile. I got him like in 1:14 and 2. Nice work, finished well, very willing, happy. I told the rider to come off the veil because I saw the veil was a touch heavy. And everything is a go. Everything is nice.
Well, it is a go for California and the Breeders' Cup Classic. When does he leave, and what will be his schedule once he's out there?
That's a good question. The shipping company likes to make it a little bit difficult on us, but at the moment we are planning on leaving on Tuesday, and he won't breeze anymore. He'll probably go back to the track on Wednesday to have an easy jog and just gallop, Thursday, Friday, and run Saturday.
Great. Well, best of luck with Tonalist.
Thank you so much.
No horse has ever won the Belmont Stakes and the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Breeders' Cup Classic. We've had a slew of horses that won the Gold Cup and won the Classic, and Drosselmeyer and AP Indy were both Belmont winners who went on to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. What does Tonalist have going for him, A? And B, talk about the blinkers off last time out in the Jockey Club Gold Cup.
Well, I think they wanted to rate him, obviously. Last time in the Travers, he was full steam ahead with the blinkers on, but he had worn them before. I think he's just a horse that is far more on it. He's a horse that doesn't need that kind of carrying that he did before, and he's just more professional now, as we can see him winning the Gold Cup. I mean, that was about his most professional and commanding performance that we've seen from him thus far. It is a tough row to hoe, though, winning the Belmont, winning the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and then, shipping out to California, especially to take on the best older horses in the country. But really, he is kind of facing his own kind as far as age group is concerned. But I'm with him. I think he has a great shot.
Well, 3-year-old honors and a potential Horse of the Year title up for grabs with Tonalist in the $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic just 7 days out. There were some other Breeders' Cup notable workouts earlier today, including Sayad, who's been an okay turf horse. Seems like he stepped up his game as a 4-year-old, and he actually worked a half-mile on the main track in 48 seconds flat, and he is the first horse on the also eligible list in the Breeders' Cup Mile.
Well, that's a shame. I hope he does get to run, because this was a great work for him here on the main track. And I actually watched it, and I was clocking him that he went 24 and 2 and then 23 and change, which is great. I mean, it means that he accelerated. You can also see that he was well off the inside rail. As you said, the track labeled as good, a bit heavy down there, so a lot of trainers having their horses more towards the middle of the track for a better surface.
And a late morning stroll for Sayad, breezing at 10:15 after the second Harrow break for trainer Kieran McLaughlin, son of Street Sense. We'll see if he gets into the Breeders' Cup Mile, but he's had an okay year with limited starts. And then way over there on the training track, the New York-bred Artemis Agriterra worked a half mile for trainer Mike Hush, and she actually breezed, or it was 5/8, excuse me, a minute and 4/5. And what do you think of her going out to the West Coast?
She breezes fast all the time. She's a very talented filly. I like her going into the Breeders' Cup Sprint. She's also New York bred. She's representing the Empire State here, and Mike Hushin has done a tremendous job with her, as he does with many of his horses, but really has turned her life around, turned her racing career around in the latter stages of 2014. And you couldn't ask a horse to be more peaked going into this race.
No back-to-back graded stakes wins. That was her win in the Grade 1 Ballerina on the Travers undercard, but that was a race she overcame the inside post with a good ride from Rajiv, and then she closed from so far back in the Gallant Bloom. Does seem like she'll run from anywhere, and we'll see what she is regarding closing odds, maybe around 4 or 5 to 1 or so. Best of luck to the state-bred Artemis Agriterra in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. Now, today's card, we had 10. We were good and yielding all day long. A modest pick 6 carryover of about 19,000 as Belmont Park bathed in that soft light here in early evening. We get to the second to last feature, or I should say graded feature this fall meet. It's the Bold Ruler Race 3, and John Embrial with the call.
In second, then it's Romanche, Salutos Amigos in between horses, Joe Tess on the outside, followed by Cease. Confrontation is the trailer in 7th. The pace setter is the favorite, River Rocks, in front here by a length and a half. Joe Tess, Sage Valley right together, 2nd and 3rd. Cease is on the far outside in 4th. Salutos Amigos runs in 5th. Then it's 2.5 lengths back to Romanche. And at the back, Confrontation, the quarter. 22 and 4/5 seconds as the field moves around the far turn. River Rocks on the lead here by a length. Joe Tess in 2nd. Long shot Cease on the outside in 3rd. Sage Valley down at the rail. Then Salutos Amigos. Confrontation has gained some ground on the extreme outside. And Romanche. It's River Rocks after a half in 45 and 4. River Rocks pressured here now by Cease. Sage Valley is just in behind horses. Confrontation on the extreme outside. And Romanche is in with a chance as they come down for the 8th pole. Confrontation. Salutos Amigos is making a bid on the far outside. Here is Salutos Amigos to take over. Then Confrontation, Romanche, and River Rocks. Salutos Amigos wins the Bold Ruler Handicap. A photo for second between Confrontation and Romanche, and the time for the 7 furlongs, 1 minute, 21 and 4/5 seconds.
River Rocks even money on the lead, can't find more, and everybody swarms in, including Salutos Amigos on the outside.
He was really running at the end. I mean, he was going quick. They ran a fast final time, especially for the good going that we saw for this 3rd race, our Bold Ruler Handicap. But some interesting news emerging after this win.
Yeah, post-race quotes, David Jacobson saying, you know what, and he pre-entered this horse in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, and he said, you know what, he's on the phone, in fact. Looks like he's on the phone with Breeders' Cup officials minutes after.
Make a flight for me.
Right, we want to send them out. And it sounds like Salutos Amigos Monday morning will be on a flight out to the West Coast, and he will go into the Breeders' Cup Sprint as long as he does okay out there in the days leading up to the big championship event. Sounds like he'll be pairing up starts in a 7-day span. But what have you seen this year from Salutos Amigos?
Oh, he's been great. He's held his form very well. He's pretty consistent. He always shows up. This was probably his most impressive performance of the year by far. But an interesting call going out a week away from the Breeders' Cup. I can't say that I would necessarily do it.
Well, David Jacobson, a guy that's not afraid to run horses back on short notice, and we'll see what the story is 7 days from now. Breeders' Cup Sprint picking up some flavor. That horse will need a new rider, though, with Cornelia Velasquez aboard the New York-bred Palace for Linda Rice. As we get you back, race number 7. We couldn't get out of Belmont Park this fall without one more guaranteed late pick 4, the opening leg, 2-year-old maidens, and a Johnny I in the booth, and they're off.
Classy Class goes out for the lead. Dark Moon now moves up. Dark Moon takes over. Because I'm Happy is on the move and now up to second. Classy Class runs in third. Super Service is down on the inside, racing in fourth. Performance Bonus in between horses, fifth. Street Jersey on the extreme outside in sixth. Then it's Unbridled Hero in seventh. Hold On is alongside in eighth. Gap of 4 to Net Gain. Mr. Discreet is the trailer. And in the meantime, Dark Moon has opened up as they race around the far turn after an opening quarter in 22-1. Dark Moon by 7 lengths. Because I'm Happy. Classy Class in second. Because I'm Happy down on the rail in third, and they are closing in on Dark Moon. Performance Bonus is running in fourth. Then on the outside, it's Street Jersey. In between horses there is Unbridled Hero towards the rail. Hold On and Super Service. They have caught and they have passed Dark Moon. It's Classy Class with the lead. Performance Bonus on the outside. Classy Class. Performance Bonus. They're 1-2 inside the 8th pole. Classy Class holding off Performance Bonus and now drawing away at the end. Classy Class with a good-looking debut effort. And Rod Ortiz Jr. has 4 wins today. Classy Class the winner. Performance Bonus second. Pretty big break. Back to Street Jersey and Net Gain.
As far as first-time starters go, pretty impressive with Classy Class in race 7.
I was super impressed with Classy Class here. He kind of ran like Irad is running at the jockey's title here. He's pulling away in front now of Javier Castellano, too, with his 4th win of the day aboard Classy Class.
Karen McLaughlin sending out this guy, purchased for $250,000. He's out of a collegiate who was a very precocious runner a few years back for Team Valor and did some nice things during her 2-year-old season. But a good effort from Classy Class, and the runner-up as well, Performance Bonus. Another firster ran big.
And Javier actually, if you watched the head-on at the start, lost his left iron coming out of the gate, and you wouldn't even know if you weren't paying attention. He just coolly put it back in.
Well, that's what we expect from Javier, who did walk away with 1 win today, took the nightcap for trainer Roy Lerman on a much the best New York-bred 2-year-old. As we take a little breather, a quick rest, we've got plenty more coming your way on this final Saturday, so stay tuned.
Are you ready?
Belmont Park, the fall place to be. How many champions have walked beneath the limbs of that tree out in the paddock? Things have settled down. Maggie Wolfendale, Jason Blewett. Things aren't quiet here on MSG Plus, and we're glad you're still with us on this closing Saturday edition of Belmont Insider. We are off and running at the Big A this coming Wednesday.
That's right, Jay. You and I holding down the fort, rocking it on the 3rd floor studio here. And one more night, one more day of racing here at Belmont. I'm sad, but hey, Aqueduct, Big A action.
And you and I, Racing Report, Monday and Tuesday, a little Breeders' Cup preview. You're not going to want to miss that. We'll finish off the meet with the 4 closing weekend stakes races from Belmont Park and a BC preview with Maggie and myself. But let's get on to our second stake today, the $100,000 Chelsea Flower, 2-year-old fillies on the Widener going a mile. And we go back to Johnny I.
And they're off. And Quick Reward is quickest from the gate and has the early lead. Margaret REAY runs in second with Skinner Box towards the inside in third. And Amazing Anne is racing in fourth. Then from the outside, Unbridled Sonia is next in fifth. Mike Caramia down on the inside in sixth. Then comes Miss Chatelaine in seventh, followed by Path and Ack Naughty. Then a break of 3 lengths to Phoenix Park, who trails the field in 10th. And the 2-year-old fillies head up the backstretch. The quarter was run in 25 and 2/5 seconds over the yielding course. Quick Reward challenged here by Margaret REAY. Quick Reward by ahead. Margaret REAY is in between horses. Unbridled Sonia's on the outside in third. Path down towards the rail and racing in fourth. Ack Naughty is on the move from fifth. Ack Naughty is gaining ground along with Path. Then comes Skinner Box in sixth. Amazing Anne in seventh. Mike Caramia down on the inside in eighth. Miss Chatelaine is ninth, 8 lengths from the front. And the trailer is Phoenix Park. Quick Reward is dropped back It's Unbridled Sonia and Margaret Ray. Those two right together, and Act Naughty just in behind in third. Path is fourth, and then Amazing Anne in fifth. Miss Chatelaine begins to gain ground, still with a bunch to do as they turn for home. It's Unbridled Sonia and Margaret Ray and Act Naughty on the outside. Act Naughty drifting out there. In between horses, Unbridled Sonia looking for room there is Miss Chatelaine. Miss Chatelaine now bursts on through in deep stretch. And Miss Chatelaine with Joel Rosario. They win the Chelsea Flower Stakes. Act Naughty was second, and it was close for third.
Well, we just saw the conclusion of the Chelsea Flower here with winning rider Miss Chatelaine, Joel Rosario. Joel, first, I gotta ask you a little bit about the course. It was kind of led to believe that the inside wasn't necessarily where you wanted to be on this yielding Widener course. What did you think of the course?
I'm pretty sure you're right about that. Just look a little bit soft, in the inside, and I was just listening, to Christopher. He just, take my time with her, and then. And just, went to the loser, just, she's going to give me 100%. So she did good. And I kind of, like you said, trying to come out on the outside. So I figured probably the turf was better there.
Where, looking at her, I mean, she kind of exploded once you got her clear. What do you think? How much was left in the tank?
Actually, I can tell you, she just started running, because, yes, I haven't in hand the whole way. And, every time I asked to go, she just, further I go, she just keeping coming. She's keeping coming, give me everything. So, it was a good race. I was happy with her today.
Well, congratulations, Joel, with Miss Chatelaine.
Thank you.
A little bit of a mystery tour for Miss Chatelaine, who did not pull just kind of a from the starting gate to the finish line trip. I mean, she had to weave her way through. Were you impressed with her effort in the Chelsea
she's
Flower?
talented. I mean, it's hard to gauge with the course being how it is and who handled it and the times and what have you. But relatively speaking, it was a fairly slow pace that she was well back behind, and she closed with ease. I mean, she really had a lot left. It looked as though under Joel Rosario. And, I was reading an article that, Christophe wants to take her time with her, and she looks very promising, especially moving forward after
Pulpit
this.
Philly, who's a perfect 2 for 2 to begin her young career. Seasoned effort in both efforts, or both races, but she was terrific today, taking the Chelsea Flower over Act Naughty. As we go back to the remainder of this Saturday card, it is day number 37 of 38, and we're on the turf. We're happy about that, and here's Johnny I.
Enter the stretch, the half up in 47-2. Here comes Gray Walls, and here comes Consumer Credit, and Consumer Credit has taken over the lead. Gray Walls in second, then Delightful Aaron on the outside. Resilient One is putting in a late run, but Consumer Credit has a 4-length lead, and the favorite, Consumer Credit, will break her maiden on the turf. Resilient One second. Tap It Out, finish third. Therapy had a steady there. Mental Iceberg is down at the rail. The field now comes into the stretch. It's Boston Strong, and Change Will Do You Good. Change Will Do You Good. And on the outside, Blue Pigeon coming on. Blue Pigeon to take over the lead. Change Will Do You Good back running in second. Northern Trip, who was way back, as making a late run, but Blue Pigeon is in front by 3, and Blue Pigeon will prevail. Northern Trip does get second. Change Will Do You Good was third. Storm the half mile in 46 2/5 seconds. And it is American Creed, the one to catch. American Creed's got a 3-length lead. Giant in the Moonlight on the outside moves into second. Then it's Lulu Rocks. Down at the rail is Leroy Jr. It is American Creed holding on to the lead. And he is 44-1. Giant in the Moonlight was second. Looked like Thanks to My Uncle came on for third over Leroy Jr. As the lead as they head for home. Pink Floyd Live on the outside. Not Now Joni towards the rail. It's Miss Matzo Ball with the lead in the stretch, and Miss Matzo Ball has opened up by 4. Not Now Joni, Aussie Prayer, Pink Floyd Live, Classic Aussie, and Former's Joy, all chasing Miss Matzo Ball, who has poured it on in the stretch here. Miss Matzo Ball, a 7-length winner. Aussie Prayer was second. Then Not Now Joni Performer's Joy.
Nearly half of the Saturday card made up by 2-year-old races, whether on the dirt or on the turf. And we saw Mitz Matzeball break her maiden by quite a bit in the last for Rory Lerman and Javier Castellano. But race number 2 on the turf for the open 2-year-old maidens, Consumer Credit, pretty good, pulled the right kind of ride. What'd you think of this score, second time or third time out?
Yeah, she looked great in doing so here, Jay. 6 furlongs really seems to be her game. She pretty much demolished this field. I mean, to be quite honest, it was interesting to watch this race and that which horses were handling it and which weren't, because you saw the clods flying as they turned for home, and several horses looked as though they were bobbling quite a bit. So she obviously liked it.
Brazilian one finished second first time out for the Pletcher barn with John Velasquez riding, but Consumer Credit would begin a big day for owners Bill Lawrence and the Klarovich stables. They had a number of horses that ran well today. None perhaps as good, though, as Erod Ortiz Jr., who walked away with the 4-bagger. And look at that. He is one up on Javier.
This is exciting. I love coming down to the wire. Last day tomorrow, and they are just one race separating the two of them.
And for Chad Brown, 3 consecutive Belmont Fall titles. A great job all around. He came away with the victory, as did trader David Jacobson with Saludos Amigos with that big, bold ruler run as we check out. And we continue on with the owner standings. Michael Dubb, well, he hasn't missed a beat either post Saratoga.
And he has it in his grasp here. 13 over 9 wins of David Jacobson.
Claims on the afternoon, very few on a card where A, it was good to get back on the turf, and B, Stalagmite coming back to the family.
Yes, Tom, it loves this horse. That's all I have to say.
He's got speed. Might be a horse that'll like the inner track, and not a bad pickup if I do say so myself for $16,000. As we take one more final time out, we give a big shout out to Big Red, and stay tuned for the final segment.
Now's the time to sign up for a Naira Rewards account with our new Bet 100, Get 100 bonus. We want to deposit $100 into the accounts of new signups during the Belmont Fall Championship meet. Just enroll, bet $100, and you'll receive $100 in your account the next day. It's that easy. Plus, new signups can access the brand new Naira HD app and watch live streaming races on their smartphones. Sign up today on track or at NairaRewards.com.
Back at Belmont Park, we're soaking up the last few hours here at the Big B before we move across town to the Big A. Breeders' Cup just a week out, 6 days in fact out from the Halloween October 31st card and that $10,000 live money Breeders' Cup Challenge contest available. More information online. Check out the web address. Again, last year's winner, $125,000 plus. Top 15 spots go to the DRF NTRA National Handicapping Challenge. You excited for the Breeders' Cup?
I am more than excited. But, Jay, I want to know, you wearing a costume on Halloween?
No, I don't do that.
On.
My nephew's got one.
All right. Well,
when he goes
we can
trick-or-treating. But no, will you have one on in the paddock?
No.
Not fun like that. Now let's wrap up the stakes here with the fall meet. Was tomorrow's featured $100,000 AWOD stakes, and David Donk, who still has on his home answering machine, this is the house that AWOD built. He's got a runner in the AWOD, which is kind of cool. And Vision Perfect, who was second last time out in the Pilgrim, offering plan was third.
Vision Perfect has been a bit of an overachiever as far as I'm concerned, and I've liked him throughout his 3-race career so far. I thought he was game in hanging in here, hanging tough, just to get edged out by Imperia, who I think is a very promising horse for Kieran McLaughlin.
Set a slow pace, but was good in defeat, offering plan for the meet's leading trainer and Chad Brand as we check out Bill Mott's Tappet horse in a lot, who won last time out sprinting.
This horse struck me as just a classy individual, a very athletic horse in the paddock, kind of like Imperia. Now, will he be able to stretch out? I don't see anything hindering him from getting the mile here. He's actually hitting his best strides right before the wire at the 6-furlong sprint.
He'll be running for the 3rd time in his young career tomorrow in the co-featured AWOD, as Xandar is coming out of a rainy, chilly Saturday when he broke his maiden a few weeks ago in a race that's actually been pretty live.
Exactly. The 2, 3, 4 finishers came back to run 1, 2, 3 in a subsequent maiden. Yes, Xandar got a perfect trip under Jose Ortiz sliding up the rail, but it looks as though a mile will suit him very well too.
Son of Kitten Joy gets really tested tomorrow along with everybody else in the AWOD stakes as these 2-year-olds start to really separate themselves from a talent standpoint. We'll see what happens as we fast forward race number 9 on the closing day card. Last graded stakes of this fall championship season. It's a good one though, named for a top class mare, the Turnback back the alarm. We got to go back to March with Teen Pauline's last race on the inner track. What are your thoughts?
She's prepping us for watching Big A races here.
Yep.
She is a fast filly. She is a need the lead kind of filly, in my opinion, at least from watching her last couple races. But she was dominating in each of these performances at the Big A. She does look as though she's only speed on paper, too, tomorrow.
And we got Dame Dorothy back to this circuit. Broke her maiden Cigar Mile Day nearly a year ago for Bobby Flay.
And she is undefeated. She's only had 3 starts, though, and she has trouble staying on the racetrack. But there's no question that there's some talent with this filly and a very game performance, breaking her maiden first time out on that Cigar Mile Day.
Came back off that long layoff that you noted at Presque Isle last time. Beat a field 4-5 against Pennsylvania breds, and she'll step up in class. She's one of 2 in the race for Todd Pletcher, and Chad Brown runs a couple of fillies, including Endless Chatter, who's been better than ever at the age of 4.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Jay. She's really stepped up her game in the latter stages of this year. I've been impressed with her in each and every start. This was against maybe lesser, but she really strutted her stuff there at Saratoga in the Summer Colony Stakes, and she has that great running style of just being able to set right off the pace and still have that closing kick.
One of 2 dropping out of the Grade 1 Bell Dame along with Toasting. They were no match for the loose on the lead leader and winner in Belle Gallanty, but best of luck to Endless Chatter tomorrow as we need some shipping money on day 38. Aqueduct first race post 1 o'clock. Who better to bring in than the man? Here's Andy Serling with who to look for closing day.
Well, Sunday's closing day here at Belmont Park. Let's try to close it out with a winner. The 5th race is the Awad. And, of course, many of us remember Awad, a wonderful racehorse. I'm sure Jason's already reflected on Awad on the show. I like the 3 a lot. This is a horse we tried before and we won with. Well, a lot did not get the best of trips last time. I just think he won because he was a lot the best, and I think he's going to be the best in this race. There's no doubt he has to beat Offering Plan. Offering Plan's a talented horse, as Chad Brown opts to run in this spot instead of shipping to California, it looks like, for the Breeders' Cup. But I think a lot is the horse to do it in the 5th race, the Awad, closing day on Sunday.
So all systems go for that closing day card. I got to say, Andy knows me pretty well. I think back and, your first are always your best. And I think back to all those horses running in the mid-'90s when I first got bit by the racing bug, and a wad on the turf for Eddie Maple and David Donk, one of them. Did you ever see him run down in Maryland?
I don't think he did run in Maryland.
I
I'm
think
pretty
he was
sure
a Maryland
he did.
bred,
I can't
actually.
Remember. He is. But I can't remember. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit young.
That's all right. Arlington Million winner. Might have won the Manhattan here on Belmont Day a few years back, or we're talking a few years back in the mid-'90s. Regardless, a good horse. It's good to have David Donk. What do you think of the job David Donk does real fast?
He does a great job. He's very hands-on with his horses. I mean, his wife, Faye, is in the barn each and every morning riding the pony as well. I always respect operations like that. And, I mean, he's great with his turf horses. He can get a dirt horse to run, too. And a guy that runs consistently well throughout the year has a stable here, too.
And a good job with his 2-year-olds. It seems
He
like
has,
he's got a
especially this
number
year.
of juveniles that can run okay. Perfect Vision tomorrow afternoon. And speaking of Perfect Vision, and we do have that carryover, what is it, 60, 50,000? 50. The big 5-0 tomorrow on day number
Close it out.
38. We talked about Perfect Vision. Well, let's get up close and personal with Tonalist. It's all in the eye of the
Who does that
beholders.
look like, Cigar?
That does. He's got the cigar eye. Maggie and I will see you tomorrow night for closing day. Have a great Saturday evening, and let's go Rangers.